Shout out Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
Hey, y'all. It's me, Tamara. Clap, 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 clap. Woo! Clappity, clap, clap. Yes. It's so funny because anyone who's new right now doesn't even understand why I'm doing it, but the real ones know the vibes because we really miss the studio audience around here. But anywho, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to the show. To all of my new listeners, new episodes drop every Thursday. I usually talk about my life, my interests, and the ways I'm trying to grow. So come on back through. You feel me? And for my day 1, 2, 93, you might have came in at week 200. Shout out for all of y'all that just kept coming back and all that good stuff. Yes. It's actually kind of weird to be recording today because I actually just dropped a bonus episode that I recorded on the 12th of November because that was my podiversary, 4 years in this thing. So go back and listen to that. I usually don't say stuff like that, but then you can kind of catch up on what's new in my life, that there's been some major changes I reflect on, like just everything that's changed, not only in the last 4 years since starting the show, but definitely within the last couple months. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. And piggybacking off of that, kind of why I said go check that out, man, there has been so much change. So much change. There is a song that says, "Everything is changing now. Everything is changing now. The Spirit of the Lord is here. The Spirit of the Lord is here." But the whole point is everything is changing now, right? Everything literally in my life. Okay, there are some things that are the same, but I have had a lot of change, right? And I've really been thinking about that because I am someone who does not like change. I am not a creature of habit. Like, I can be spontaneous, and there are like definitely aspects of me that enjoys change, but like the overall structure of my life, yeah, that really could have stayed the same and it's all different, right? But what I'm learning and what really highlighted it to me is today. So, I'm back on the Snatch 40s journey. Really never left it. I just had not been to the gym in like probably 2 months. Yeah, that's probably was about mid-September the last time I went to the gym. And first it was for other reasons, then it was like financial, and then I just realized that the Lord was actually telling me to switch gyms. No reason, like nothing happened at that gym. I actually did not want to switch gyms. That's what took me so long to get to the gym he told me to go to and like actually get back started, because I didn't want to switch gyms, and I really had to like grieve more change because like I had got comfortable. I swear, for everything I love Gizmo, it is without fail. I swear, they be working together every time, and I don't always record at the same time. I don't. I really don't. I really, really do not record at the same time. I record at random times, but it's so funny every time. Gizmo be on his thing, and then one of my kids will call. And the thing about with my kids is I forgot to put it on the the do not disturb level where they can't get through. Nope, go find a different toy because we're not doing that. But this is what y'all gonna get for all my new people. I don't edit this stuff out because this is my life and it just is what it is. Anywho, it never fails that Gizmo starts playing with this same old excuse me, same old squeaky toy, and one of my kids call, and I forgot to put it on the do not disturb that they don't have bypass access, so that's on me, and I always forget. So yeah, like anywho. It took me a minute to decide that I was okay with switching gyms. And so I finally did. And it's really interesting because so I went to this new gym. It's another CrossFit gym, so nothing's changed with that. There's a lot. When I tell you there's a lot of people that I know that go to this gym, there's actually probably more people that I know ahead of time that go to this gym than I knew at the other gym because a lot of people from my church go to this gym. So it's not like I'm amidst strangers. It was not nothing like that. It's just I am, I was comfortable and I had got in a routine and I had whatever. And what's interesting though is the downside of that, and I see that today, is that so when I started CrossFit, I didn't know anything. And so I would modify workouts and I would do this, that, and the other. And never really ran. There was only one time I did a workout, maybe twice, where I actually ran, but I would always choose to not run. I would do some other cardio. So I would work out, but I would do some other cardio. And then a lot of stuff I would modify. You should do that when you're starting out, but I realized I wasn't pushing myself. And so being in a new gym, it's just really interesting because they gave me a modification for the pull-ups, but it was like a tougher modification. Like, I don't know why they thought I could just start at this level. Maybe because I said I used to do CrossFit at a different gym, so maybe I don't know. But they just started me at like the pull-up level that was just like it was modified, but it was like a step up modified. But I did that. You feel me? Then when it came to the handstand, it wasn't push-ups, handstand something. Normally I would have done that on a box, but I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just do the wall handstand because for some reason I just knew I could do it and I did that, right? I just then also running, here's the funny thing. I was not trying to push myself to do that. I don't like running, which is weird because I actually used to like running and used to like try to train for a marathon, but we ain't there yet. So I went outside and then like I was like, oh wait, they got bikes and stuff. And I was like, oh, I didn't know there was another option because I saw other people do that. And this lady, ma'am, I just met you today. I really like her though. She was really nice. But ma'am, I just met you today. Okay. You talking about well, there's not another option for you. If you're not injured, you gotta run. What? Oh, all right, whatever. So I went out there and did a little stupid running or whatever, and I did that. And so then I realized that I was pushed way out of my comfort zone, and I wasn't allowing myself to be pushed out of my comfort zone in the other gym. And this has literally nothing to do with them, you know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason at this new gym, and it has to be because I said I've done it before, they just were like, no, you're not about to just try this and then we'll see. And then with the running, they were like, you don't have to run as far as everybody. You can like, so I didn't have to run as far as everybody, but I still had to run. Like what? So yeah, and so then what I started thinking about is I started thinking about all the change that I've had in the past couple months and how much I've honestly grown as a person because I am in I am like just in completely different environments, completely different living situation. And sure, I needed to grieve what was no longer because it's what I had always known. But I'm realizing just the beauty in change, and how a lot of times in order for you to get to the next level or whatever it is you need to do, you have to do things differently. Like, even, and I kind of talked about this a little bit last week, I think. Maybe I didn't. Oh well, here we are. There's a friend of mine that and it's a guy, and for whatever reason, this man has done nothing wrong. This man has been actually a really great friend to me. So, let me preface this with that. But I've always had like a lot of close guy friends over the years, and I've talked about this on here where, a lot of those friendships ended in just mess. Like, most of them I don't talk to anymore, the ones that I'm thinking of. Now, this isn't every guy friend, but there's just, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's just, there's similarities, and there's whatever. And so with that, I found myself very triggered. What are you doing? Sorry. And my normal, like, I guess, coping mechanism, yeah, would have been to act like this person doesn't exist, just like fall back and, act like they don't exist. Well, I can't really do that with this person. For one, they don't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? At all. That's like the biggest thing I had to tell myself is, maybe if I didn't, and I'm not saying like, oh, I know him just super duper well like that, but I'm just saying, as well as I know him now, maybe if I didn't know him as well as I do, maybe I could like act like he didn't exist, and it wouldn't seem weird and just all of a sudden and out of nowhere and be like, why? You know what I'm saying? But where we're at in our friendship, I can't do that. And so once I found myself like triggered and like triggered about things that literally had nothing to do with him, and having to like really assess, okay, what's going on. I had to do that work because I couldn't fall back and act like he didn't exist. I mean, technically sure I could have, right? But I just kept feeling like and telling myself, but he doesn't deserve that. Like, he didn't actually do like anything wrong at all. Like, it wasn't, because I know there are like different types of triggers. I'm learning there's different. Gizmo, why are you just no? I'm learning there's different types of like healing too. Healing sometimes comes from going through some mess, but then what I'm experiencing now is healing is coming from like experiencing goodness, and then what's happening is the goodness is causing some, you know unhealthiness to bubble to the surface, because it's like, why do I feel anxiety when people are being good to me? Okay, that has nothing to do with this person because they're actually being good to me. So okay, let's dig into the anxiety. It's all because of change. It's all because I'm in a situation that's completely different, because like with this particular person, whether I and I'm not saying I don't want to see them. I always feel like I got to preface stuff because, I mean, I don't know. He might listen to this show. I don't know. And I don't want him to feel like it's about him. And he probably would know it's about him because I actually talked to him about this. That's new for me too, y'all. Me actually telling people, like, I told two different people that I was just like really struggling with different things, not because they did anything wrong, but because the right, like I said, was triggering me. I told two different people that, but I don't, so it's not like I don't want to be around this person. I genuinely like this person. They're fun to be around, all that. So it's not like that at all. But even if I didn't feel that way, I would have to be around this person regardless because of what we do. You know what I mean? So it's like I really couldn't, and we've grown as friends. So I really couldn't, like, I couldn't do that. And so, like, man, it's changed. It's just a different type of situation, because the difference between this person and the other person, the other people, because this has happened many times, besides the fact that this person is different than them, you know what I mean? So besides that, the difference is I had to I had to force being around the other people, so it made it easy to fall back and just fall away and ultimately not have to deal with what was really going on inside, which is fear of abandonment and all these things. So I could just fall back because I just, oh, I'm just not gonna try to be around you. Yeah, I can't do that because that means I have to not do the things that I know the Lord is calling me to do. So yeah, it's been a really interesting few months, and yeah, all of the change, it's really weird because I'm like, there's a lot of peace. Like I told y'all, an empty nester, and we all, or maybe I did, I don't know, I think I did. That's what I talked about in the last episode, I think. But anyways, we all moved out of the house we were in, and I'm gonna be getting my own either apartment or townhome, whatever. We'll see. We'll see how it actually pans out. Like, I made a list of apartments, but who knows? I could maybe get a townhome. Nevertheless, the whole point is where I'm staying, there's it's such a place of peace. It's such a place of bringing healing and all these things, which is great. But all the things that are bubbling to the surface is like, bruh, what is really going on? But again, it's because there's change. As much as I don't like it, it's crazy how just shaking things up in my life has like yeah, like I was talking about, I feel like the working out is a prime example because I would have shied away from running and everything I did today. Today was the first day back at it. And I loved the gym that I was at. I did not want to leave that gym. Trust me. I asked the Lord many times if I could just stay there, and He said no, and whatever. You know what I mean? So here we go. But the whole thing is, because I was not in my comfort zone, I forced myself to do things that I could do. I just wouldn't have done it in my comfort zone. Like, I just wouldn't have tried to do it before. And then, relationally, if I think back to these other friendships, it probably was, who knows? No, it wasn't the same, but we'll go there. Let's say it was the same thing, and they were triggering me because of goodness and not whatever, even though I'm telling y'all that's not what it was. But let's say it was. I don't usually tell people things, like just the level of vulnerability that I've been displaying. And mind you, I'm a pretty transparent person, but there's levels to it. I realize because I'm so deep in just this one particular community. So I'm around a lot of people that I serve with at church and or go to church with or whatever, just because of how involved I am. And the family that I live with, they go to my church and we serve together. So I'm just so deep in the trenches, which makes it sound bad, but I just had to say it like that. I'm deep off in these trenches, you feel me, of ministry, right? Hey, it can be the trenches sometimes, not because of the people that I serve with, but it's just, spiritual attacks, all that. But anyways, I'm so deep off in these trenches, you feel me? And as a result of that, it's like I'm around a lot of the same people all the time. And it's just really interesting because it's kind of like I've been at the church for 10 years, but I was always involved, working other places. I mean, I still do subcontracting work, but it doesn't take 40 hours of my week. You know what I mean? So I was always my time divided with all these other different things. I never lived out this way. So then there was that proximity. And so now I'm just so deep into it, even deeper than I was before, because now I'm living with people. And so as a result of that, it's like when you start really doing life with people, and this is probably how, I haven't been in a relationship in a long time, but this is like a relationship. It's like when you start really doing life with people, you start really walking alongside them, whatever they're going through. So like if they like when I was moving and everyone helped me move, and that's just a small thing. But then when you get into heart issues and stuff like that, and sometimes the way that people deal with their heart issues is unhealthy, and then the people around them, they get bumped and they get wounded, all because somebody's not taking care of their heart, right? And so it's been a lot of trying to take care of my heart so that I'm not mistreating the people that are actually being really good to me, you know what I mean? And so it's just been such an interesting season. And but I could tell like I've grown so much. Like who, I don't know if they thought anything of me telling them, hey, this is what I'm going through, I'm being triggered, and I'm this, that, and the other, and all that I said. But I was like really proud of myself because like being known by people, I realized I would let people know enough because I am a pretty transparent person. But like the deeper heart things that are like me saying, oh, I've grown attached to you. And so that's actually like scary to me because it has made my fear of abandonment bubble to the surface. That's kind of the gist of how that went. It was a lot more than that, but that's just part of it. You know what I'm saying? To tell somebody that, I was proud of myself, y'all. I'm really just out here growing. And it's just so funny because year 4 of this show, and I think about year 1 when I literally, and I said this in the Podiversary episode, my first episode, I think I said this, but I'm gonna say it now. My first episode was called Vulnerability Ew. Ew. Vulnerability literally used to make me physically nauseous. Like it used to make my stomach turn to be vulnerable. So to go from there to telling somebody that, and I've talked to him about a lot of different stuff about my life. It's just been a thing for whatever reason. But it's not like I've known this man for years and years and years. You know what I'm saying? So there are people that I've known for years and years and years that because of just where I was at emotionally and in my healing journey and stuff like that, I wouldn't have said that to them. So it's just, this is why I'm so proud of myself, because it's not even just the vulnerability, but it's just the vulnerability with somebody that I don't really, I didn't really know how they'd respond or just whatever. So I'm out here growing, y'all. I just thought I would share that with y'all. Change, man, I struggle with change, but I'm like, even on the way to the gym, I had anxiety because it was about to be, oh, like I didn't go to the class that I knew all the people that I knew would be at. I did that on purpose because it's like I kind of want to, it's twofold. One, I want to make my own way, but also, like I just said, I'm so deep in the trenches with everyone, and there's nothing wrong with them. So this isn't about them. I love them. It's, they're all great, but it's like it's a weird adjustment. And then like working out, like we was never doing that before, you know what I'm saying? So it's a weird, I'm just, when it comes to change, I have to like, if I can be in control of it, it'd be a slow thing. So like as I was like talking to the Lord about this, I'm like, all right, fine. I gotta switch gyms. All right, cool. You want me to go to this gym? Whatever. But I don't have to go to this, because there's a workout that like everybody goes to that I actually could go to for free. I was like, but I don't have to do that, do I? And he was like, nah, you don't gotta do that, but you do gotta switch gym. All right, cool. This is a way in his kindness that I get to have a little bit of control, I guess. That's probably not his goal, because eventually I'll do it, but he's at least allowing me ease into this major change in his compassion, because he knows I have struggled with, like, y'all, my life is just it's so different right now. And it's, I mean, being an empty nester it's weird. Like, and I know it's gonna hit different when I'm actually in my own place living by myself. Like, that's gonna hit different, but I know it's something that's needed. Like, I need to experience that, obviously, because it's about to happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, then once I move, that's when I'll get back to the visuals. That's part of why I stopped the visuals, because I don't have like one of my monitors, and I wouldn't have been able to have my pictures on the wall that I had before. And y'all know how particular I am. It's so funny. Shout out to Autumn, because I didn't tell them like right away when I moved. I don't know why, but she was like, she knew something was off when I said something about my background like episodes ago, because she's like, I know you're particular about your background. And so, yeah, once I move, I'll get back to the visuals. But like I said, it's actually been really just freeing, not even having to worry about visuals, really just holding this mic and not having to like look at myself while I say whatever. That's not going to stop me. I'll get back to it, but I know it'll be weird at first again when I start doing it. But so yeah, y'all, that's all I got for y'all this week. As always, I hope that as I talk about my life and the ways I'm trying to grow, it's encouraging to you in your own journey. I'm transparent about my struggles, because a lot of times people feel like they're alone in their struggles, or sometimes people will have this perception about people of how they think they are or think they whatever. And so, yeah, as always, make sure you are taking care of yourself mentally. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're taking care of yourself emotionally, spiritually. Do what you got to do to have a healthy spirit. We all have a spirit, and it needs to be healthy. Take care of yourself physically. And as you do all those 4 things, it makes it easier for you to be healthy in your relationships, which is super important, because it's like, if you're not taking care of yourself, how can you really be good to anyone else? You really, excuse me, you can't present your best self to people if you're not taking care of yourself. So that's always why I say that at the end of every show, because that is super important, right? And so, yeah, thank y'all for listening. I love you so much. Bye.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition. Another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for